What's guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the 5th episode of Super Cub. This one's titled Reiko's Summer. So yes, we've seen how Koguma spent her summer with her summer job being a courier for the high school, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know, I think in all my time watching anime, I've never seen a school do paid jobs before over the course of it. I've never seen something like that in any other anime that I've watched. Like, I can't think of a single one. And considering how often shows are set in a school setting, I'm quite surprised by that. So either it's something that's like very rarely done, or only specific people ever really consider it. I guess it's more typical for, school age to want to go out in summer, spend it with friends, and not necessarily work. Whereas for Koguma, working was more ideal because it's not like she has a lot of friends to spend the summer with. She would like to earn a little extra money, start upgrading her bike and getting extra bits for it, getting more, learning how to do her own oil through the guy at the shop who shows us how it's done. But now we're expected to kind of do it ourselves, and we do manage to accomplish it ourselves, which is kind of nice. As well as learning to deal with rain and things like that. It's just, I love it because the show kind of presents, at least the past 2 episodes, I don't know if this episode is going to be the same, but it's kind of presenting an issue and then working through it and finding that joy in overcoming something. So last time, in episode 3, it was about starting to ride a bit faster. Wind starts blowing and it gets really, you can barely keep your eyes open because it gets really, really bad with the wind. So it's like, okay, need a actual helmet with a visor. Now, my helmet does have the things to fit a visor, but they're kind of expensive. I need a cheaper alternative. Oh, how about safety goggles? There we go. We now have our option, and we can ride a bit faster and not have our eyes sting so much, which is nice. And then, episode 4, we need money, so we'll get a job. It started raining, and whilst we have some form of rain attire, it's not exactly fantastic. So we go all out and spend a little bit more money, get our proper attire, and it's like, yeah, now we can ride no matter what. And we've accumulated a lot of miles. Or kilometers, depending on how it is. I think this show measures in kilometers, right, because Japan. Yeah, we got a good bit of mileage on it. And fuel-wise, we should be, as I learnt last time, these things are pretty damn fuel efficient at 180 miles to the gallon. That's pretty damn good. So we can really go a long distance. We probably only needed to considering we went over 1,000 kilometers, it would have been 5 full fuel tanks, probably. But since this is potentially an older model, maybe it doesn't get the same fuel efficiency it once did, so maybe it's close to 7, maybe 8 tanks of fuel. But again, these things are fuel efficient. That's kind of what makes them great, right? So yeah, that was Koguma's summer. Now I guess we're going to learn about Reiko's summer. I don't know if she's going to be telling it to us, because she invited us over to what looked like her, I don't know if that's her home or if that's just someplace she's staying for the summer. I don't know. But we've gone to meet up with her. I guess she's going to tell us what happened over the summer, or we're going to do something together for the summer. I don't know if we're at the stage of doing something together. And since this episode is titled Reiko's Summer, I'm going to assume it's more her saying what she got up to, or maybe we just have a more detached episode focusing on her more than Koguma for once. Either way, I'm excited. I love this show. This show is really, really underrated, I think. I wish more people would jump onto us. As my YouTube series go, it is one of my more popular ones. The engagement ratio is fantastic. Overall viewership has also been really good considering as well. Certain episodes obviously will be lower and higher. It just happens with shows for some reason. Certain episodes of shows will just suddenly spike in viewership, and yeah, I'm not too concerned with that, but you guys seem to be enjoying this series. And again, this seems to be a series that Japanese viewers seem to really connect with, which is odd. Symphogear is a series that we'll be watching after this, but has a very American-based audience, and then we've got something like Super Cub here, which has a very Japanese-based audience. It's just kind of interesting how those things line up. But I guess a chill show like this about cubs and motorcycles probably appeals more to a Japanese audience than an American audience, because American audiences typically go for more action-y style content. It's just kind of what they're into. because we're used to like action films and all this jazz. Like you got Avengers and you got the whole DC universe. And it's like a lot of films, and it's not so much about the chill slice of life stuff. That's not the main prevailing interest of the American audience, it seems, or the Western audience, I should say. I shouldn't really lump in and just say America, but it is primarily American viewer base, as kind of expected. I mean, second biggest anime consumer probably after Japan at this point. I think it's fair to say. So, anyway, with all that said, we're going to load the episode up here as per usual. These are time-based format reactions here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture in picture, go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all Patreon picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as Symphony G, which we'll be doing straight after this, so stay tuned. We also have movie reactions, with a poll currently ongoing for which movie we watch this month. Currently, I believe it was a tie between Makia and Kiki's Delivery Service, so if you want to sway that vote, check out my Discord as well, since that has a direct link to it, and you can go from there and engage with the community. Community's getting more active, and we got a lot of people who talk about a lot of different things. Like if it's currently airing shows, past shows, you'll find an audience for it here. The Symphogear peeps have kind of taken over a little bit, but that's to be expected. It's Symphogear. It has a crazy following. But here on YouTube, we do timer-based, so bottom left of the screen, you'll see a timer for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Play site episode, I site episode, and we should be in sync. We're watching this one on Funimation as per usual, since they are the ones who license it. We have the Kanekawa logo and then the Funimation logos to start, so about 10 seconds of logos, give or take. I'll call them out as I go past, but you can also use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when the scenes are transitioning. Pay attention to this part of my headset as well, since it's very reflective. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Kanekawa. Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. Okay. I think this is definitely Reiko's percent. Yeah, it is. Okay. So felt confined, okay. But the bike was the escape from that, I guess? Okay. Back to the cabin. So I guess you live alone here then? Bike looks pretty dirty and banged up a bit. Alright. Here we go. Quite a nice little space. This place must get real cold in the winter, though. I'd have thought. Yeah, our bike looks pretty dinged up. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Getting hungry again. God damn it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where the hell could that be? I guess I'm close yet far away. I I guess you went up the mountain then. Is that Fuji? See, here's the thing. Whenever they show a mountain in Japan, I just assume Fuji every time. Uh, okay, how loading up with, I guess, like construction company or supplies or something. Supplies, yeah. Yes, we and you can see the bike's all nice and clean. Okay, music. Very different from what we're used to. Pretty bumpy trail. Oh boy. Oh boy. Mm. Ooh, rough. I suppose the climbing Fuji barely even started, and yeah, trail stations. Okay, cracked mirror. Oof. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. That makes sense. That also makes sense. Is that why she's been modding her bike a lot of this time? Been looking up off-road builds and such. Yeah, a lot of modding. Right, yeah. Okay. Hmm. I guess these trails would offer a loophole in that. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Hmm. Nice guy managing to accommodate for her desires. He's a nice guy in his own way. Okay. It's a journey of self-discovery in its own way. Jesus, okay. Yeah, I was a bit too exuberant there. Just a bit. It wasn't a high speed one, so you're okay. He's noticing every single time as well. Seventh station, okay. Oof. That looked like a bad one. That looked like it really tweaked a wheel. Poor Cub going through so much. Poor her going through a lot as well. Yeah. Getting higher and higher. Yeah. Gulpy will probably bring it back up. Wow. Something. Wow. That's quite the achievement. I mean, mad respect for that. This music. Jesus. It's a lot of fools. I guess it's kind of lucky that the terrain's so bad here that you can't get a lot of power down. So at least those are relatively low impacts hits. And a lot of rolling, which dissipates the energy. She's over exuberant though, really. Like, she's pushing too hard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Using every time. Seventh station. What did you hit? Oh, nice. Kept that one under control. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Music. Eyes on the road. Eyes on the. Come on. Insane. That's a bad. Jesus. Jesus, that was a bad one. Yep. That one's caused a bit more damage. Leaking oil. Interesting, they reverse down there. It's one hell of a view. Yes, it was pretty silly. Mm-hmm. The cursed cub has a reputation. Okay. Oh, so it's all just a rumor. Maybe. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way you approached it was kind of silly. Okay. Yeah. Sure about that? Mm-hmm. If you were a bit more cautious and paid attention, maybe you would have actually managed it. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I have no idea how the I have no idea how the class licensing and stuff works in Japan. Yeah, bit too much. Oh boy. Be prepared for electro engines. Uh, I think I get what she's saying though about the cylinder ball and stuff. I think I get what she's saying because of the imperfections. You don't have the perfect seal because you've got the cylinder, and then so there it comes up, and it's like fuel, ignite, boom, boom, boom. That's basic of a like a piston in an engine, right? And if the actual cylinder like circle is like imperfect, there's imperfections, it doesn't have the best seal. You can get more power out of it that way. There was something else that she was mentioning, but I didn't know what she was doing. I think maybe the piston itself. Yeah, I'll look up the Japanese motorcycle license, what class 1 and full motorcycle actually means. Alright. Next time. My Cub. Alright. Good episode. Very, very good episode. Okay, so Japanese motorcycle license. Driving and cycling. Here we go. Japanese requires you to have a specific license for certain classes of motorbikes. For a 50cc engine, such as a scooter, a regular Japanese driving license is fine. To use a motorcycle or scooter over 50cc, you will need a mid-class or big-class license. Process is the same. You either take the test directly or apply to a driving school. Motorcycle license courses at driving schools are a little cheaper than car license. However, there are 2 license types: a mid-class for up to 400 and a big-class for over 400. A mid-class license course costs around 250,000 yen. Big class costs around 120. But you need to pass the first one first, so it's 370 total. You have to do mid and then big. You can't jump to big. Okay. Interesting. And 250,000 yen is... how much is that? Just over £1,600, or in dollars for American audience, that's about $2,300. Okay. So what's a class 1 license? Types of driver's license. Here we go. Class 1 driver's license. Class 1 driver's license is license to drive motor vehicles or mopeds. Okay, so that's just basically having a license. You're having your Class 1. Different sizes of motor vehicles, regular motor vehicles. So I guess we got a moped Class 1 license then, probably. But you need a Class 2 license to drive motor vehicles, to transport passengers, or to operate a duly designated driver service. So you need Class 2 for buses, taxis, okay, public transportation, got it. And you have just learner's driver permit for pricing. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So Class 1 driver's license is just having a driver's license, but there are different parts of the driver's license that you have to go with. So I assume we just have mopeds. And then we'll be getting regular motorcycle, and then we'll be getting a large motorcycle. Well, we probably won't go all the way to large, but we'll probably get regular, because that, again, allows us to get a bigger engine and stuff, as Reiko is kind of explaining. How does the UK's... Because I know the UK's is kind of, like... interesting. Because we have, like... There are different categories and stuff, like... Yeah, so... We have moped licenses. So yeah, for a two-wheeled or three-wheeled vehicle, maximum design speed over 25 kilometers, but no more than 45. Also includes light quad bikes. That's the AM class, and then you've got P class, or category P, I should say. Between 45 and 50. It cannot be more than 50cc engine. And then Q, drive two and three-wheel vehicles without pedals, and engine size not more than 50cc. Maximum design speed no more than 20. Okay, so that's like Yeah, okay. I get it. It's like basic stuff. Okay. So this would be equivalent. So she would essentially be trying to get not a P. It would be her motorcycle. So yeah, this would be. Yeah, this would be equivalent to getting her A1 UK license. Engine size up to 125cc or up to 11 kilowatt power output. Power to rate, yeah. So that would be light motorbikes. And then yeah, category B is category B is like general vehicles. Category C is for more larger vehicles. Category D is for buses and minibuses. Then there's all the way through to N. You've got F, which is tractor, G, road roller, H for tracked vehicles, K for mowing machines or pedestrian control vehicles, L for electric, M for trolley, and N for exempt from duty. I don't know what that one is. But yeah, I know about these licenses vaguely just because of my dad. He was like a white van man essentially, and so he had to make sure that he had like, and he also handled horse boxes and such, so he had to make sure he had the correct licensing and stuff to be able to handle some of that stuff, especially when certain horse boxes got to a certain size. There was like a limit to the size he could go on his current license, so, and he didn't want to go through more licensing stuff just to get to that point. It wasn't worth it necessarily because it was very odd jobs. But yeah, interesting, good to learn. I honestly like, I get why Reiko was doing it, but she really was a bit too gung-ho about it. Like, certain rocks, when it's uneasy terrain, I get it, but like, when it's a sticking out rock and you still hit it, you need to pay attention to the road a little more, especially that last one. That last one was totally avoidable, because she was just like, she wasn't paying concentrating to the road. And like, when it's a trail like this, that is designed for a huge agricultural, well, not even agricultural, but just a huge, like, tracked vehicle, it doesn't care about small rocks like that, but your bike will care about stuff like that. So, you know, I think her mentality and approach could have been better for something like that. It came across as very gung-ho, very like, I have to do this no matter the cost. And it's like, well, if you're a bit smart about it, you take it a little slower, you check the road. Like, I would personally look at the tracks themselves as maybe a guide marker, because yes, it'll be a bit uneven, but the chances of there being a rock on the tracks is unlikely, since it would push it down to the weight of the vehicle. So chances are you probably won't get caught up on anything. Like, that would be my train of thought. Whereas in the middle, it could be whatever, because nothing has touched it in God knows how long. It takes designated tracks. So, I don't know, just my kind of thinking on that. I think her approach was just a bit weird. Different change in music as well this episode, with focus on her, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Spring 2021 lineup you can find here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.